So if you go over to YouTube, there's a man called Lance Casey. He's a PI and a cop of 35 years, or he was a former cop. If you go look up Anna Toledo, she is a lawyer. She has a case, I believe, in the Supreme Court talking about information like this. If you go over to the targeted individual community, there has been hundreds of thousands of individuals, if not millions, um, of individuals that they're basically doing this to, not just here in the States, but also overseas. If you go look at the man on investigative TV, I think I posted it, where they basically started, he's a dissenter. I just happen to be a whistleblower. They started using flock cameras, and the cops started harassing the crap out of this guy using that equipment. And there's something called the silent dagger or the slow dagger treatment, allegedly. They actually have manuals that these individuals are like following. They're basically trying to discredit these people's stories. They're some are like breaking and entering, apparently. But they're basically trying to stalk, harass these individuals. They're also basically trying to, like, from what I'm understanding, they're trying to like break their mind, is what they're trying to do. And then they're trying to ensure that the individual themselves are not actually believed, when they're trying to tell you that there's actually things that are going on that's not very good. And then they try and discredit the person's story that, well, that person must be completely and totally nuts. No, I'm pretty sure my brain and my eyes are actually working. Okay. So from what I've seen, so I was almost run off the road in December, and then almost twice in January. And then I noticed the rotation would look like rotational tails on my car. And you really have to be a little bit concerned about like projecting yourself onto the situation. But then you have to see it to believe it. Okay, it's because it's location based or GPS based. It's they show up, you show up, or you show up. How do I'm saying that wrong? You show up, they show up. You show up, they show up. You show up, they show up. So regardless of whatever area that you're in, they show up. Okay, so and they're always changing locations, so that way it looks like normal traffic patterns. They have something called, and the other individuals that have dealt with this before are also basically claiming the same thing, right? So they have something called the one headlighters. Basically, these individuals use one headlights to basically tell you who they are. They want you to know who they are. And these individuals are basically trying to mentally break you down, is what they're trying to do, while they stalk and harass you. So I've seen more one headlights in the last 6 months than I've ever seen in 41 years. Just the other night, I caught a man who flipped his turn signal and his headlight went off. I was going out of Cannon Falls, and this guy had gone out of Cannon Falls, I think it was like the day prior. And then as he was coming in, I think it was the very next day, he literally shut his headlights off as he was coming into town for no reason whatsoever. I have seen them sitting on the side of the road. They will come up, they will start showing up at the exact moment that you get into a spot. And it's typically like a 2 to 3 minute interval. Like tonight, I actually caught an individual parked in the middle of the actual highway. No, he was not actually, did not actually look like he was trying to turn or something like that. And he broke down. That is not what that looked like. They're just the other, and they will also flash their brights to basically say, like right before you're about to go past, they'll hit their brights on purpose to irritate you. They will signal without turning. They'll be sitting parked on the side of the road. And then just tonight, it looked like they are canvassing the area. I'm not joking. This is an actual thing. They have directed, so if you go look over at China, okay, they have something called social credit scores, right? They also have it's basically like a surveillance system is what it is, okay? And the social credit score is basically if you dissent, you basically get a credit or whatever knocked off your score, right? So you cannot get on the train, you cannot get a pop, you cannot get into your own apartment if they start knocking too many points off of your credit score. And with this whole flock thing coming in and them trying to basically force tech onto every single thing that we touch, We are getting to the point where they want a surveillance nation of if we basically say something against the actual government themselves, we're considered the enemy. And then they try and discredit the people that are trying to speak up and actually say something and try and fix stuff, is what they're actually trying to do. So what they're trying to do, in my personal opinion, is they are trying to implement an actual surveillance state where they are tracking and harassing their own citizens. We didn't do a very good job, guys. But if you want to go check out some of that information, I'm still learning about it myself. I try not to project too much on the situation, but considering what I've been seeing in the past 6-7 months, sorry. Regardless of whether I'm accurate or not, it needs to be put out there. They're coming out with like directed energy weapons and all sorts of things. Whatever they're currently doing, it needs to stop. So I hope you all have a good night. And unfortunately, I'm just going to have to keep posting this information here. And you can check it out or not. That's entirely up to you. And no, I'm not crazy. I'm just very, very observant.